They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Well, we've got heaps of lively numbers coming up on the last set, but right now I'd like to do one that's been probably one of the most requested songs that I get around the pubs, and I've been dying to record this one. It needs no introduction. When I was a young man, I carried a pack. I lived the free life of the road. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, the country said, son, there's no time for roving, there's work to be done. And they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun. And they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as a ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the cheers, the flag waving and tears, we set off for Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day when our blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell they called Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was waiting, he primed himself well, showered us with bullets and he rained us with shells, and in 5 minutes flat, well, he blew us to hell. He nearly blew us right back to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours and the Turks buried theirs, then we started all over again. So those who were left just tried to survive in a mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive as the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse overhead, and when I awoke in the hospital bed, I saw what it had done, and I wished I was dead. Then I knew there were worse things than dying, and I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all through the green bush far and free. 'cause to hunt and tent peg a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. They collected the crippled, the wounded, the maimed, shipped us all back to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind and insane, the brave wounded heroes of Suvla. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be, and I thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to mourn and to grieve and to pity. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. Nobody cheered, they just stood and stared, then turned all their faces away. And now every April I sit on the porch as I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams and past glories. But the old men march slowly, bones stiff and sore, tired old men from a tired old war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing Matilda as the old men still answer the call. And year after year more old men disappear. Soon none of them will march there at all.
Born proud of my country, my land flows through my veins. Not having marched in my boots, I find it so hard to explain. I wear this badge with honor on my country's uniform. No, I'm no superhero, I learned the duties I perform. From a working class background, just a regular Kiwi kid, I went to school and played rugby like most of us did. Played make-believe war games back when we were boys, and G.I. Joe was one of my favorite toys. Raise the flag, raise it up, raise the flag to the top, raise the flag and furl our flag on high. Oh, New Zealand, my homeland, you're worth the sacrifice to keep our country bright and free. broke mine. It took just a moment to sign the dotted line. Raise the flag, raise it up. Raise the flag to the top. Raise the flag and furl our flag on high. Oh, New Zealand, my homeland, you're worth the sacrifice to keep our country proud and free. Oh, New Zealand, my homeland, Pacific paradise, my birthplace and the home that I love. I'm a New Zealand soldier, a military man, serving my home and country the proudest way that I can. While there's a breath in my body and a God above, I pledge my allegiance to the country that I love. Oh, New Zealand, my homeland, you're worth the sacrifice to keep our country proud and free. Oh, New Zealand, my homeland, Pacific paradise, my birthplace and the home that I love. My birthplace and the home that I love.
Laying a wreath not for the lost Anzac soldiers, but the women who cared for them.
They had an enormously important role, which was totally neglected. There wouldn't have been an RSL. Most of the men wouldn't have come home had it not been for army nurses. Their role was enormous.
Clementina Hay Marshall was one of 7 nurses serving on the hospital ship HMAS Gascon.
7 nurses for 500 very badly injured men is a nightmare, really, and that's why they work round the clock.
The hospital ship Gascon and the hospital ship Cecilia saved tens of thousands of Anzac soldiers' lives.
The diary of Clementina Marshall reveals the terrible conditions endured by the nurses and the important work they did.
People don't realise what nursing was like in those days. There were no antibiotics. All they had was morphine, and often the War Office didn't send enough morphine.
Nurse Marshall's great-nephew recently received her diary and decided her story needed to be shared.
I held it in my hands and couldn't believe that this was 101 years old. It was extremely emotional and very fascinating.
Clementina Hay Marshall was one of about 2,000 Australian nurses who served overseas during World War I. But her personal history gives us an insight into stories which may have otherwise been lost. Preserved on the page so they...
The 11th of November is Remembrance Day, and at 11 a.m.